American scientist and writer Robert Lanza has achieved significant success in various fields of natural sciences, from biology to theoretical physics. His pioneering work includes participation in the creation of the world's first cloned animal, as well as the use of pluripotent stem cells in medicine. His contribution to science is recognized worldwide. He is on the list of the most influential people and thinkers. Recently, a scientific hypothesis has been put forward that death is not the final event as we perceive it. In quantum physics, there is a concept of unpredictability of some observations. Instead of one result, there is a whole range of possible outcomes, each of which has its own probability. A widely known interpretation, called the theory of multiple worlds, assumes that each possible outcome corresponds to a separate universe. Based on this, a new scientific theory called biocentrism develops these concepts. She claims that there are an infinite number of universes, in each of which any possible event occurs. According to this theory, death does not occur in the usual sense. All possible universes exist simultaneously, regardless of the events in each individual universe. Although the human body inevitably ceases to function, the essence of consciousness is the question, who am I? It's just a 20-watt stream of energy in the brain. This energy doesn't just dissipate after death. The basic law of science says that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed. The question arises, does this energy transfer from one world to another? In one famous experiment, scientists have demonstrated that they can change events that have already happened. The particles behaved differently depending on the choice made by the observer at a later period. This suggests that our decisions can influence events that happened earlier. The connection between events goes beyond the usual perception of time and space. The energy involved in this process works like a projector, displaying different results depending on the decisions of the observer. Biocentrism challenges our habitual understanding of space and time, suggesting that they are not as rigid structures as we imagine them to be. Imagine that you are waving your hand in the air. If you remove all the matter, what will remain? Nothing. The same applies to time. There is no visual perception of time behind the bones of your skull. Everything you perceive and experience is just a whirlwind of information going on in your mind. From this point of view, space and time are just tools used to collect our sensory impressions. In a world where there is no time and space, there is no death. Even Einstein, reflecting on the passing of his friend Michel Besso, admitted this, saying, "Now Besso has left this strange world a little before me. It doesn't mean anything. People like us know that the differences between the past, present, and future are just a persistent illusion." Thus, immortality does not mean an endless existence in time, but rather, beyond time. If we fully accepted biocentrism and the point of view offered by the observer concept, biocentrism would go beyond complex physics and have profound metaphysical consequences. In fact, biocentrism is a vision of the universe as alive and conscious, in contrast to the traditional mechanical universe similar to a clockwork mechanism. This transforms the apparent emptiness of space into a world filled with life and consciousness. From this point of view, consciousness becomes a universal and interconnected entity that transcends space and time. As Dr. Lanza explains, this view of the world promotes a sense of unity, reducing feelings of isolation and loneliness. In addition, death ceases to be something final. The physical body may die, but consciousness continues to exist. Biocentrism offers interesting concepts such as time travel, freeing us from the usual constraints of space and time. If time is just a mental construct, then you can move in it in any direction. But most importantly, biocentrism unites science and spirituality, considering them as complementary rather than contradictory. Observers of his fictional universe show how science can become a guide to a deeper meaning that goes beyond materialistic views. Acceptance of biocentrism leads to changes in the perception of existence. Despite its apparent paradoxical nature, this theory is based on the strict scientific principles of quantum mechanics and biology. As shown in The Observer, manipulating consciousness can give us access to new dimensions. Although there are elements of fiction in biocentrism, its basic idea is unambiguous. We must be open to radically new ideas. What dreams can give us is based on the fundamental notion that reality is a process in which we, conscious observers, participate. We usually think that the material world exists somewhere out there, more specifically or autonomously than the world of our dreams, where we seem to play a secondary role. However, recent research shows that our daily reality also depends on the observer, as does the world of dreams. Dr. Lanza argues that dreams are more than just spontaneous bursts of neurons, as some theories suggest. They go beyond activating random memories stored in the neural circuits of the brain. Although dreams often involve a mixture of emotions and familiar events, they often feature people, faces, and situations that the dreamer has never met in real life. The dream unfolds as a continuous narrative that can seem as vivid and real as life itself. How then, can this complex and eventful dream be just the result of random electrical impulses? In the world of dreams, we are not just passive observers of the outside world, storing memories in our nervous system. How can the brain create all these components of sleep, seemingly out of nothing? How can he create such detailed and complex dreams? During sleep, we do not just observe events and process information as in the waking state. Instead, lying in bed, our mind is able to create new people and environments, manage their interaction in four-dimensional space. This phenomenon demonstrates the amazing ability of our mind to transform abstract information into a vivid multidimensional reality. In a dream, you are not just moving in a predetermined space and time like a video game character. You create these dimensions yourself. This process, although more obvious during sleep, is the same as in our real life. Biocentrism assumes that we are not just observers, but also creators of reality. In the sleep state, the brain is not limited by the need to conform to sensory signals and the physical laws that govern them, which allows it to create experiences that are very different from the reality perceived during waking hours. New research conducted by theoretical physicist Dmitry in collaboration with Andrei Bavinsky, a specialist in the field of quantum gravity and quantum cosmology, has revealed an important fact. They suggest that the very structure of physical reality in space-time is formed by vast networks of observers. In a dream, we go beyond the generally accepted reality and find ourselves in an alternative cognitive model that is very different from the reality perceived by other people. In this state of sleep, the subtle structure of the wave function of the universe becomes decentralized and unstable. This instability may explain why in dreams we often see that the values of the observed quantities that form the basis of reality become more variable. Moreover, this study suggests that the presence or absence of observers may affect the dimension of the universe itself. Biocentrism assumes that space and time are constructions of the mind, and dreams are convincing evidence of this. If space and time were really external and physical entities, as we used to think, then how could the brain reproduce these dimensions so convincingly in a dream? We often consider our nighttime experiences to be just with us, not a reflection of reality. However, dreams and our perception of reality are fundamentally similar. If we don't take a biased look at the consequences of quantum mechanics, we will come to a common understanding of everyday reality and the world of dreams. This approach helps to solve many long-standing mysteries about the nature of dreams, reality, and our existence. In conclusion, Dr. Lanza's work, based on biocentrism, argues that consciousness is not just a byproduct of the brain, but a fundamental property of the universe itself. This point of view radically changes our understanding of life and death, arguing that what we perceive as the end of life is just an illusion created by our linear perception of time. According to Lanza, our dreams are real experiences created by our consciousness, just as our life experiences are real and shaped by our knowledge. Dear friends, thank you for watching my video to the end. If you liked it, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's very important. Thank you, and have a nice day.